Let me take you back to that quiet Sunday dinner table. The steam rising from the bulgari, the chukchi jars gleaming, my grandchildren giggling, and then, in a language she thought I couldn't understand, my daughter-in-law leaned over and whispered the most venomous words about me right to my face. That old hag is just a greedy burden, she'll die soon and we'll finally get the house. Honey, I sat there smiling, nodding like the sweet old grandma they all believed I was, but inside, my heart shattered into a million pieces. And what I did next? Well, they weren't smiling when it was all over. If you've ever been betrayed by the very people you opened your home and heart to, if you've ever dreamed of that sweet moment when justice finally knocks on the door, then hit that like button right now. Subscribe to Voices of Grandma Hattie, turn on notifications, and settle in with your tea. Because today, I'm sharing one of the most heartbreaking and satisfying stories from my long life. You won't believe how it ends, but oh Lord, it'll warm your soul. Now, let me tell you how it all began. Well, hello there, my sweet listeners. This is your Grandma Hattie, sitting here in my cozy rocking chair with a warm cup of chamomile tea, just like always. Oh dear, where do I even start with this one? My heart still aches a little when I think about it, but time has softened the edges, and the good Lord knows there's a lesson in every trial we face. Pull up a chair, honey, this story goes way back, farther than you might think. I wasn't always this silver-haired old lady you hear talking to you now. No, ma'am. I was born Hattie Mae Thompson in a small town in Georgia, back in the days when the world was simpler but harder all the same. My daddy was a sharecropper, and my mama took in washing to keep food on the table. But even as a little girl, I had a fire in me, a hunger to see more of the world. And oh, did the Lord provide a way. When I was just 19, I met a handsome young soldier named Robert at a church picnic. He was stationed nearby, and let me tell you, that man could make my heart flutter with just one smile. We courted proper like, and before long, we were married. Robert was shipped off to Korea shortly after. This was during the war, you see, back in the early 1950s. He fought bravely, and when he came home, well, he wasn't quite the same cheerful boy I'd married. War changes a man. But he brought something else home too, stories of that far-off land, pictures, even a few words in Korean he'd picked up from the locals. Robert and I settled down, had our son David, my precious boy, and built a life. But the war had left its mark. Robert suffered nightmares, fits of silence that could last days. To help him heal, we started attending a support group for veterans. That's where I met Mrs. Park, a kind Korean lady whose husband had also served. She was lonely in America, far from her family, and we became fast friends. Oh, how we talked. She'd teach me Korean phrases over tea, and I'd share my southern recipes. Before long, I was speaking Korean fluently, reading it, writing it, even dreaming in it sometimes. It was my secret gift to Robert. I'd whisper sweet Korean endearments to him on bad nights, and it soothed him like nothing else. He called me his hidden treasure. Years passed. Robert went home to the Lord far too young, leaving me with David and a modest house we'd paid off together, the same house I live in today, with its creaky porch and blooming azaleas. David grew into a fine man, went to college on a scholarship, and landed a good job in the city. I was so proud when he met Joanne. She was a beautiful young woman, born in Seoul, who'd come to America for school and stayed. They met at work, fell in love quick as lightning, and before I knew it, they were married in a lovely ceremony blending our traditions, Baptist vows with a touch of Korean bowing. At first, Jiyeon was sweet as pie. She'd call me someone, that's the respectful way to say mother-in-law in Korean, and bring me little gifts, ginseng tea, pretty handbook scarves. She'd help in the kitchen when they visited, and when my grandchildren came along, first little Minjun, then sweet Sumin, oh, my cup runner over. Family dinners became my joy. I'd cook up a storm, fried chicken alongside kimchi jjigae, cornbread with bulgari. We'd gather around my big oak table, the one Robert and I bought with our first savings, and I'd watch them all laughing, passing dishes. It warmed this old heart. But honey, you know how it is. Things change slow, like the tide coming in. At first, it was little things I noticed. Joanne would smile at me, but her eyes didn't. She'd correct the children sharply if they spoke to me in English instead of practicing their Korean. David started spending more time at work, saying they needed to save for a bigger house. Joanne would sigh dramatically about how cramped my place felt when they visited, even though I'd given them the master bedroom years ago. I brushed it off. She's young, I'd tell myself. Different culture. She's trying. I loved my son, and I wanted to love her too. So I bent over backward. When Minjun was born, I moved into the smaller room so they could have more space during visits. I babysat whenever they asked, cooked traditional Korean meals I'd learned from Mrs. Park, bitmap, tteokbokki, even homemade chongchun that took days to ferment. Jiyeon would praise it to my face, but I'd catch her scraping it into the trash when she thought I wasn't looking. Still, I kept quiet. Grandmas do that, don't we? We swallow the little hurts to keep peace in the family. The cracks grew wider over the years. David and Jiyeon bought a fancy new house in the suburbs, big yard, modern kitchen, everything shiny and new. They invited me over less and less. Someone, you're getting older, Jiyeon would say with that tight smile. The drive is too far. Better you rest. But I'd hear from the grandchildren about their new pool, their vacations to Hawaii. And my house? The one Robert and I poured our blood and sweat into? It sat quiet most days, except when I had my church friends over. I started feeling like a burden. Oh dear, that hurts to admit even now. I'd sit on my porch swing in the evenings, rocking slow, wondering if I'd done something wrong. David would call, promised to visit soon, but weeks turned to months. Jiyeon stopped calling altogether. Then came the day that changed everything. It was a Sunday in early spring. The dogwoods were blooming pink and white, and I'd spent all morning preparing a special dinner. I'd invited them weeks in advance. Come for cookhouse early this year, I'd said, blending our holidays. I made salespeople, fresh charabanc, spinach amulet, uichimu, my special concocted that ferments just right. I even baked a peach cobbler for dessert, David's favorite from childhood. They arrived late, Jiyeon complaining about traffic. The children ran to me with hugs, those grandbabies are my light, but David looked tired, and Jiyeon, well, she barely nodded. We sat down to eat. In Korean tradition, the eldest starts first, that's me. I picked up my chopsticks, said a blessing, and everyone dug in. The table was full, rice steaming in the cooker, soup bubbling, meat sizzling on the little table grill I'd bought special. At first, conversation flowed. The kids chattered about school. David talked about work. But then, oh Lord, then Jiyeon switched to Korean. Full, rapid Korean, thinking this old southern grandma couldn't understand a word. Translation, honey? Honey, this old woman is so possessive. The house is too big, it would be perfect for us. We just have to wait for the old hag to die. She has so much money. The inheritance should all go to us. She doesn't even know we speak Korean behind her back. My heart, oh, my heart just stopped. I sat there, smiling like always, nodding as if I understood nothing. But inside, it felt like someone had poured ice water straight through my soul. This woman I'd welcomed, loved like a daughter, taught my recipes to, she saw me as nothing but a dying obstacle to my own home. The dinner dragged on. She said more, complaining about my old-fashioned ways, how I smelled like mothballs, how the children didn't need a backward grandmother spoiling them. David murmured agreement here and there, though he looked uncomfortable. I served dessert quietly, cleared plates, sent the grandkids to play. When they finally left, Jiyeon with a quick "Annyeonggi jaiseo," someone like nothing happened, I closed the door, leaned against it, and cried like I hadn't since Robert passed. Then came the family meeting. I invited them over again, important discussion, I said sweetly on the phone. They arrived curious. Jiyeon brought store-bought kimchi this time, a slight I noticed but ignored. We sat in the living room. I poured tea, hand steady now. Children, I began, I've been thinking about the future. David smiled. Mom, whatever you need. I pulled out the new will, slid it across the coffee table. Then, I switched to perfect, fluent Korean. Jiyeon, I said calm, looking her dead in the eye. Naega Korean maljal hanian July morisyachi? Jujingi ki neo hui jie ne dihi hangion mal, de duriatio. Her face went white as rice. Someone, you speak Korean? The house stays mine until I go home to the Lord. Then it funds their future, college, weddings, whatever they need. You too? You've shown me where your hearts lie. Jiyeon begged, promised to change. David got angry at first. This is unfair, Mon. But when I reminded him of his silence that night, he crumbled. It was hard, honey. Heartbreaking. 4 months, they didn't visit. The grandkids called, confused, but I kept loving them fierce. Slowly, things mended. Not perfect, but better. Jiyeon started helping genuine, learning my recipes, apologizing proper. David took time off work, spent weekends fixing things around the house like when he was young. And the grandkids? They thrived. Minjun's in college now, Sumin dreaming of medical school. The trust grows steady. As for me, I still sit on that porch swing, rocking slow. Sometimes Jiyeon joins me now, quiet. We've never spoken of that dinner again, but she knows. They all know. Family is everything, my dears. But trust? Respect? Those must be earned. And sometimes, the good Lord gives us the strength to protect what's precious, even from our own. Oh, listen to me rambling on. That's the story, honey. If it touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear that justice comes, even if it takes time. This is Grandma Hattie, signing off with love. God bless you all.